When God is about to give you something big, the first thing you might notice is that everything around you seems to get harder. It's almost like the moment you take a step closer to your blessing, all of hell seems to break loose against you. You're not imagining it. The pressure intensifies, the resistance grows, the struggles that once felt manageable now seem overwhelming, and it's not because you're failing. It's not because you're off track. It's because you are right on the edge of something extraordinary. You see, the closer you get to a breakthrough, the more violent the opposition becomes. Think about it. If what you were about to step into wasn't powerful, the enemy wouldn't bother fighting you so hard. If it didn't carry the weight of destiny, the battles wouldn't seem so fierce. In fact, opposition is often the clearest sign that something incredible is just ahead. When you feel like giving up the most, it's often because you're closer than you've ever been. The enemy fights the hardest when he knows he's about to lose the battle for your future. The attacks might come through circumstances, sudden financial trouble, betrayal by people you trusted, unexpected delays that make no sense. They might come through emotional storms, waves of fear, anxiety, self-doubt whispering, maybe it's not going to happen after all. But you must understand that these battles are not there to stop you. They are allowed to strengthen you, to stretch you, to prepare you for the size of the blessing you're about to carry. Many give up when the pressure peaks. They assume that because it's gotten harder, God must have changed his mind. But it's exactly the opposite. When everything starts fighting against you, it is often the greatest evidence that heaven has already said yes. It's as if God has already released the blessing into your future, but now your spirit, your mind, and even your character must rise up to meet it. You must hold steady. You must dig your heels into the ground and say, I was born for this moment. You must recognize that every attack is a signpost, not of defeat, but of destiny. And you must remember, the enemy doesn't waste his firepower on people going nowhere. He saves his greatest attacks for those standing at the gates of greatness. So when you find yourself pressed on every side, when the nights seem longer and the burdens seem heavier, don't curse the struggle. Smile through it. Rejoice in it. Know deep down that it's a signal, a heavenly alarm that your blessing is so close. You can almost reach out and touch it. And when you feel like everything around you is trying to crush you, that's when you should lift your eyes to heaven and say, Thank you, Lord. Now I know you're about to do something big. Another sign you'll notice when God is about to give you something big is a stirring deep within you, a restlessness you can't quite explain. It's not fear, it's not anxiety, it's something different, something holy. It's as if your spirit knows something your mind hasn't fully understood yet. You find yourself looking around at your current life, and although everything may seem fine on the outside, inside you feel unsettled. You're no longer comfortable with where you are. The things that used to satisfy you don't seem to fill you anymore. The goals you once chased so eagerly start to feel too small. You begin to sense there's something more, something bigger, calling you forward. This stirring is not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a sign that something is waking up inside you. It's heaven's way of pushing you out of the old and into the new. Just as an eagle stirs the nest to make it uncomfortable for her young, so they will learn to fly, so God stirs your soul to prepare you for the new heights you were meant to reach. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. And so when God is about to do something big, He allows this divine discomfort to set in, not to punish you, but to propel you. You'll feel it when you wake up in the morning, a tugging at your heart that says, there's more for you. You'll feel it in quiet moments when you catch yourself dreaming bigger dreams than you've dared to before. You'll feel it in conversations, in chance encounters, in unexpected flashes of inspiration that leave you wondering, could I really step into something greater? Yes, you could. And if you are feeling that stirring, it's not by accident. It's because God is preparing you to move. But here's the challenge. When you feel restless, it's tempting to try to fix it yourself. It's tempting to rush ahead, to grab at the first opportunity that comes along just to ease the tension. Don't do it. Wait. Listen. Let the stirring do its work in you. Let it stretch your faith. Let it sharpen your vision. Let it burn away the things in your life that no longer fit where God is taking you. Because when the time is right, the same God who stirred your spirit will open the right door at the right time and lead you straight into the blessing He has prepared. Do not be afraid of the restlessness. Do not run from it. Lean into it. Embrace it as a friend sent to guide you. Trust the stirring within, because it is proof that you are being called out of the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is heaven's whisper that something big is on its way. When God is about to give you something big, another thing you'll begin to notice is the sudden appearance of opportunities and divine connections, moments and people that seem to show up out of nowhere, but are perfectly aligned with your purpose. These are not accidents. They are not coincidences. They are orchestrations carefully woven by an unseen hand to lead you into the destiny God has prepared. You might meet someone unexpectedly, someone who holds a key piece to the vision in your heart. A conversation you didn't plan might spark an idea you never considered before. A door you weren't even knocking on might swing wide open, offering you a path you didn't think was possible. These moments are not random. They are signs. They are God's fingerprints on the blueprint of your future. When you are walking with God, you must learn to recognize when heaven is arranging a meeting on your behalf. Sometimes the people you meet may not even realize they are being used by God to bless you. Sometimes a simple introduction, a recommendation, a word of encouragement can catapult you forward in ways you could never achieve on your own. And it won't happen because you forced it or chased it desperately. It will happen because you were aligned, you were positioned, and God decided it was time. But here's the secret. Not every open door is your door. Not every opportunity is your opportunity. You must have discernment. You must be tuned in enough to the voice of God to know which doors to walk through and which ones to politely close. Divine connections come with a certain peace, a certain confirmation deep in your spirit that says, this is right. You won't have to strive for it. You won't have to manipulate it. It will feel natural, almost effortless, because when God is moving, the pieces fit together without you forcing them. When opportunities begin to arise, and when the right people start appearing, it is a clear sign that your time is near. God will never send you into something big without first surrounding you with the resources, the relationships, and the wisdom you will need to sustain it. Every major shift in your life will be preceded by an introduction to a new idea, a new opportunity, or a new ally. Pay attention, stay sensitive. Some of the most important moments of your life will come quietly, without fanfare, disguised as ordinary meetings on ordinary days. If you are seeing doors open you never expected, if new people are entering your life carrying answers to prayers you prayed long ago, rejoice. You are not lucky. You are not simply fortunate. You are favored. And favor always finds you when God is preparing to do something bigger than you can imagine. When God is about to give you something big, you will begin to notice that your vision becomes clearer. It's as if a fog starts to lift, and things you once saw only in glimpses now come into focus. Dreams that once seemed distant or too impossible to imagine suddenly feel closer, more real. It's not wishful thinking, it's God sharpening your spiritual eyes to see what He has already prepared for you. Your spirit begins to pick up on things your mind is only just starting to grasp. There's a growing certainty, a quiet confidence, that something is unfolding even if you can't explain it yet. During this time, you may also experience prophetic confirmations. It might come through a scripture that seems to leap off the page, speaking directly to your situation. It might come through a sermon where the preacher seems to be speaking only to you. It might come through a friend who says something they didn't even realize you needed to hear. These are not random moments. They are God's way of whispering, "Keep going. You're on the right track." There will be a sense of alignment between what you are seeing in your spirit and what God is revealing through signs around you. It's a sacred synchronization where your heart and heaven beat in rhythm. You'll start recognizing patterns, repeated messages, recurring themes, and if you're paying attention, you'll realize these are not coincidences. They are divine confirmations designed to strengthen your faith and anchor your steps. Sometimes the vision will come in flashes, short glimpses of the future God is leading you into. Other times it will unfold slowly, piece by piece, like a beautiful tapestry being revealed one thread at a time. You must be patient with the process. God doesn't show you everything at once, not because He's withholding it, but because He's building your trust in Him along the way. Every glimpse is an invitation to believe a little deeper, to hope a little stronger, to move a little bolder. In these moments of clarity and confirmation, you must guard what you see. Not everyone will understand the vision God has placed inside you. Some will doubt it. Some will question it. Some will try to talk you out of it because they cannot see what you see. That's why God gave the vision to you and not to them. Protect it, nurture it, speak life over it. Keep it before you like a compass, especially when the journey gets long and difficult. When your vision becomes clearer and confirmations begin to surround you, it's a sure sign that heaven is drawing you closer to something extraordinary. God never reveals without a reason. He shows you the future not to tease you, but to prepare you, because what you can see, you can begin to walk toward. When God is about to give you something big, there comes a moment when He calls you to a greater level of surrender and obedience. It's not a suggestion. It's not something you can brush off and get to later. It's a deep, unmistakable tug in your spirit telling you that where you're going demands a different version of you than where you've been. It is a sacred invitation to lay down the things that can't go with you into the new season. It might be habits that once seemed harmless but are now slowing you down. It might be relationships that you know deep inside are holding you back. It might even be the way you see yourself, small, limited, doubtful, that must be laid at His feet. God doesn't ask for more of you to punish you. He asks because He knows what's coming, and He knows what it will take for you to carry it. The greater the blessing, the greater the preparation. You cannot step into a big promise with small obedience. You cannot expect to hold a mighty calling with weak hands. There are moments when you will feel Him asking you to trust Him with more than you ever have before. To walk by faith when everything in you wants to cling to what is safe and familiar, and surrender is not easy. It feels like a dying, because in many ways it is. It is a death of pride, a death of fear, a death of the need to control every outcome. It's handing over the pen and letting God write the next chapters without needing to see the script. It's standing in the middle of uncertainty and saying, "God, I trust you more than I trust myself." That kind of surrender shifts the atmosphere around you. It moves heaven on your behalf. It opens doors no man can shut, because obedience always positions you for blessings that disobedience would have locked away. There will be moments where He will whisper things that seem unreasonable. Let it go. Walk away. Take the leap. And you'll be tempted to negotiate, to bargain, to hold on to just a little bit of the old life. But hear me, delayed obedience is disobedience, and ender is no surrender at all. God is calling you to trust Him completely, because what He's about to place in your hands is so precious, so weighty, that only a heart fully yielded to Him can carry it without dropping it. When you feel the pull to deeper surrender, don't resist it. Run toward it, because obedience is the bridge between your current season and the future you've been praying for. And the faster you yield, the faster you step into the big thing that God has already prepared with your name on it. When God is about to give you something big, you will notice a strange and powerful contrast, an overflow of spiritual attacks on the outside, but a supernatural peace rising on the inside. It almost won't make sense. Everything around you might seem like it's falling apart. Situations that once felt stable may start shaking. People may misunderstand you, walk away from you, or even turn against you. Unexpected problems could spring up in your finances, your health, your relationships. It can feel like chaos has been unleashed all at once, but even in the middle of that chaos, you'll find yourself carrying a peace that cannot be explained, a stillness in your soul that whispers, everything is under control. This is the peace that passes all understanding, the kind of peace that doesn't come from the absence of trouble, but from the presence of God Himself. It's a peace that tells you that no matter what storms rage outside, you are anchored to something deeper, stronger, eternal. It is the mark of someone who knows that their future is not in the hands of circumstances, but in the hands of a faithful God. The enemy always overplays his hand. When he sees that you are getting closer to the promise, he stirs up distractions, delays, discouragements. He tries to wear you down, to make you question whether you heard God right, to tempt you into quitting just before your breakthrough. But what he cannot touch, what he cannot counterfeit, is the peace that comes from knowing that God has already spoken, and His word cannot return void. You may wake up to bad news, but still feel a quiet strength in your spirit that says, "This will not move me." You may lose things you thought you needed, but somehow find yourself freer than you have ever been. You may be pushed into uncomfortable places, but in those very places you will find the hand of God guiding you, steadying you, preparing you. And that's when you must remember, peace is not a suggestion during these times, it is your weapon. When you refuse to panic, when you stand firm in faith, you are declaring to the enemy that he has already lost. You are showing heaven and earth that you trust God more than you fear the storm. Peace is your proof that you know who fights for you. Peace is your declaration that the promise is already won, even before you see it in your hands. So when the chaos swirls and the attacks come from every direction, don't be afraid, don't back down. Let the peace of God rise up within you like a mighty river. Because that peace is heaven's announcement that the blessing is closer than you think.